Was good evening, ladies and germs. My name's Scott Cleverdon.
My name is Assumpta Serna.
And here we are to review your demo reels, self-tapes, and everything else that you've happened to have sent us recently. Just in case you don't know who we are, my name's Scott Cleverdon. I'm an actor originally from Scotland, Edinburgh specifically, classically trained, and eventually met Assumpta here in the Ukraine on horseback on a battlefield, but that's an entirely different story. And Assumpta?
Well, I am from Barcelona. I moved to Madrid when I was, 17 or 18. Then I went to Paris. Then I went to Los Angeles. There I went to Buenos Aires, and then to London, and then we came back here in the year 2000.
Yeah, I'd like to say hello to Matt. Matt, I got your tape here right now. Hello, Carmen. You're a very productive individual. You and I need to talk. That's all I have to say. Ellie, thank you very much for joining us here this evening. Emiliana, buenas tardes.
Emilia Bejarano.
Buenas tardes. That's I like the tarded part. So as if you'd had to do it again, you'd be retarded.
That's a typo problem.
No, of course it is. Of course it is. So that's what we're doing. Between us, we have about 70 years of experience working in film, television, and theatre. Assumpta has done over 200 film, television, whatever projects, and has won 25 Best Actress Awards around the world. I've won no Best Actress Awards, and I've got to tell you, I'm pretty disappointed about that. Nobody's ever considered me to be the Best Actress.
But now is your moment. You can change your identity.
Easy. Let's not go there, okay? Because it's already far too complicated to talk about these things as it stands. And it's a little dark here. Are we?
Okay, that's good.
Where's the other one?
What we are doing here is analyzing video books, because
they're not called video books here.
DemoReels. I'm gonna put that down because I always say it wrongly.
I'll tell you why we say it wrongly. Okay, this is one of the things. As we're in here in Spain, and we've been doing this for over a year right now. This is episode number 237. We started on the 12th of April 2020, and since then we've been live Monday to Friday every single week, with about 3 weeks of exception when we had to move from Barcelona back here, Christmas, and we had Easter off. Okay, so sue us. So we've been doing this constantly since April of last year, and most of the time, because of where we are and our experience as teachers, we do it in Spanish. We've taught in 24 different cities in 8 separate countries in 4 separate languages. A great deal of our work has taken place in South America, in Bolivia, Argentina, Costa Rica, and Colombia. We've also worked as actors in Mexico. Oh, we've also taught in Mexico as well, in Guadalajara. Assumpta speaks 6 languages. I only speak the 2. I'm sorry about that.
Extremely well.
Well, I don't know if I speak them that well. It's getting to the stage where my Spanish is slightly better than my English, which is beginning to worry me between you and me. So we've been doing this for the longest, over the past year. But before that, we've been teaching exclusively film acting to actors in drama school, after their drama training, and also that to directors and other technicians in film and TV. That's what we've been doing. And
in 2006, we did the first Pioneer University course, and from there, a lot of also English schools, acting schools. They were asking our advice in how to be better on teaching on camera courses for acting, and so we did that. And it seems that now in July we are going to go, July or September, depending on the this wonderful pandemic situation. If they are open frontiers, let's say, we're going to be also in teaching a year course, very interesting, with the studios Barrandov, who that they are considered the Hollywood of Europe, really.
So let's see what happens there. Up until now, we've taught over 16,000 hours of film acting. So trust us.
We know a little bit.
We kind of know what we're talking about. To give you an idea of our approach to reviewing the video books, we talked to demo tapes, DemoReels. Jesus Christ, it's hard, isn't it?
Good that happens to you too. I'm very happy.
No, it's very hard. It's very hard. We've been saying the same damn things for such a long time.
DemoReels.
So one of the most important things that we do when we look at a demo reel or a self-tape or something like that, the first question we always ask is, does it work? Our main drive here is to offer our point of view and also a way that we can fix issues that we can see, or suggest things that we have to remove, or other things that we might have to find or change in one way or another. Those are really important things to us. A lot of the time people will critique and give their opinion, but they will very seldom be able to offer you an alternative or tell you exactly what it is that you should have been doing, or the sort of things that you should think about the next time you're going to do it.
Or simply dare to tell you the truth, because sometimes the truth can be painful, but if it's done with respect, hopefully everybody's gonna be able to go at home and say, oh yeah, I learned something today. So really the truth is what we are looking for, is the authenticity in what you do, and what we do really is we want you to shine into the audiovisual sector, or in film and TV as an actor. So our advices are simply to be able to to better your presentation, your demo reel, and that's why we are here. And also we discovered that by doing that, really we get to know a lot of actors, and also you are gonna know also how to act for also camera. So it's a good way of seeing yourself, watching yourself, and understanding really the ins and outs, right?
Yeah, one of the things that I would really ask everybody, the best way you can help us. Look, we do this. We do this for you guys. We are actors, and one of our objectives here is to offer the advice and the guidance, and perhaps a little of a point of view that we never had when we were starting out. Okay, now we're going to be speaking to people who have worked and who do know more about life, the career, and how this has been and how this works. Always the thing is that we're going to treat everybody within the context of what they've given us and what we think that they should be doing and they're capable of doing.
Exactly.
Okay,
with
those
honesty,
are the most important
you
things.
go very, very long way.
As we always like to say, hide behind the truth.
Exactly.
Nobody expects to find you there.
Exactly.
So that's really one of the most important things for us. There's a lot of people out there, and I've noticed on Facebook, you see it on Twitter, you see it all over the place. There's a lot of people who are saying that they know what they're talking about, and they're hanging out their sign and saying that they're coaches and they're teachers and whatever. The fact is, whenever you see something like that, my advice is please go to the imdb.com and look them up to see if they've actually done the job that they're trying to teach you, to see if they've actually worked in film and television, whatever it might be. I don't speak for theatre. I don't teach theatre. I'm not about theatre. I'm classically trained, but I would never consider myself to be a teacher of theatre acting. That's not what I do. It's not what we do. We do film and TV. We do acting for camera, 100%. It's all we've ever done. It's probably all we ever will do. So the thing for us is that's our sphere of experience as working actors and our sphere of experience as teachers. And what Assumpta was talking about, the drama schools, is every year that we would go to a symposium of all the British drama schools, the Conference of British Drama Schools as it's called, and we would advise the drama schools on how to teach film acting. And one of the main problems with teaching film acting is there's not a lot of teachers out there who've done it. They exist. And they're there, and I take my hat off to them because they're very, very hard to find. People who really have done the thing that they're teaching. Anyway, so that's the whole sort of institutional thing out the way. Remember, if you're here, say hi. It's good to see everybody here. Let's have a look. Who else? Ellie's here. Carmen's here.
We have now. We have Laura Bayonas. We're I'm very, very thrilled that she's here. Also, next week we're gonna have her. Is one of the characters, the wonderful characters that she played in this movie that I did. I Killed My Husband. That is now in Amazon.
You killed your husband?
I've killed my husband, but not you.
Oh, okay.
Not you, no, it's only fiction. And it's not me, actually. I am doing, a duetto, very nice duetto with Maria Conchita Alonso, who is I'm the mate, and she's the person who actually kills.
Right. I can see we have young Carlos Bentos here. Charlie Bentley, who I have his tape, which I'm looking forward to reviewing today as well. And also I have Matt Hudson. Matt's interesting because he's I think he either lived or worked in Venezuela as well, but he's not from there. Mark Wolven says, so nice to see you helping with honesty and goodwill. Well, this is why we started all this. When we started this over a year ago, 236 episodes ago, that's the only thing that we had. We realized that we couldn't just sit where we were and do nothing. We realized that we have this enormous experience behind us, and we want everybody to do their best, be their best.
Yeah, and those were the times that sharing was really important, that not being alone, that being with other people. And like that, we reached more than 115 people in this, and we went to this community called Familia de Cine. Familia de Cine, who we have to thank, right?
Oh yeah, well, absolutely, we can't forget. So what we did is 11 months ago we set up a Patreon. And all of these people have created something which we call the Familia de Cine, or the film family, and we have weekly meetings, and we teach classes and courses and all the rest of it. But these live streams that we're doing right now, these always are and always will be completely free of access. There's never going to be a pay gate on these. Occasionally we have a special thing that goes on behind closed doors, but for the most part, it's been 99% completely open source, and that's how we like to treat the way we teach, what we teach, and really to eliminate this superstition that there is around acting, to eliminate all this these urban legends which really don't help anybody.
The gurus of this world.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it could be your first day of filming, but you're the star of that scene that you happen to appear in. And we need to prepare you for tomorrow, not for 10 years hence. Okay, so let's...
you do the magic.
Yeah, but if you want to clap your hands or something.
Okay, we'll do it.
Today, we are going to be reviewing DemoReels. Right, and we're back. Thank you for that. So that's just a little set of credits. Doesn't everybody do that on a live stream? They have full credits and music.
Well, that's because a lot of people are helping us, like Robert Giordano, who is the one who actually designs everything that we do.
Okay, so if you haven't seen one of our things where we review material before, we basically review it until we're done, until we're finished. We're going to watch it through once, and then we're going to go back to the start, and we're going to go piece by piece. We're going to talk about the things that do and don't work. We're going to love it, and we're going to say the things that we think that we need to take out, or things that we got to look for.
Okay, so let's go.
Okay, if anybody has any supplemental information or material that they have to send it to me, remember, you can always send it to me at, well, that's a complicated one, alumnos at fundación. That's very difficult to say.
Yes, alumnos at fundacionfirstteam.org.
See, but if you say fundación, okay, most people don't recognize that th as a C, you see.
Fundación.
Yeah, that's, well, I mean, I could hypothetically, I used to have another one somewhere. I don't know where I put it. I think I can, no, that's...
But that's okay, that's okay.
That's complicated.
But anyway,
or you can send it to Scott at familiadecine.com. That's easier. I'm gonna fix up one of those so it's easier. Okay, so let's go ahead with our first one tonight, and let's see what we've got. Okay, you're gonna have to give me a moment here. Right, let's see what we got.
Oh, it's Charlie.
We got the amazing Charlie, who I have come to call Carlos. Right, let's go.
About that. I'm here now.
What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same thing.
It's none of your business. This is my target.
Yeah, mine too. Happens I need him alive.
Don't flatter yourself. Just being careful.
As always.
You know, after all these years, you're still the same little boy I broke up with.
Oh, right in the feels. So much for being careful.
I think you're being extremely unprofessional And arrogant.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I think you're being uptight. You ever heard of hiding in plain sight?
Have you ever heard of fuck off and let me do my job?
Look, I already told you I need him alive.
Look, he's gone. Great. Thanks.
Guess we're done here. Fancy getting a cup of coffee? Make up for lost time?
Not a chance in hell. I'm going to kill him. You can't stop me.
That's it? That was only a scene?
That is only a scene.
Okay.
Remember we were talking about, this is, let me just check out to see where...
He says that, okay, so that was just
that
one
was
of my
just
scenes.
That was just one of the scenes, because one of the things I got, let me just check to make sure that, because I had an absolute flurry of documents that I thought I had all in order. There you go. Talk amongst yourselves.
Says, I have a full show reel that has also been sent to you guys. Okay, we're gonna look for that. But anyway, yeah, it's a little nice scene. Yeah, no complaints about it. It's just that I'm a little bit tired of women being very strong and men less strong, I think. But that is just me. It's a question of taste. It has nothing to do with...
So, Charlie, this is my question for you, Charlie. Is that I had a selection of scenes, okay? The ones I had... Let me just see if... Okay, that's the one. Because you didn't... I don't think you sent it to me. I think I was compelled to download it. Okay? Just to let you know. Okay. Anyway.
So let's watch the show reel of Charlie.
Right. Give me 1 second, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right. But what did that strike you as?
No, that was just a question of taste, It's just that I'm a little bit tired now of seeing, women with a lot of strength and men with very poor skills on that field, which I think is, to believe that this girl with these high heels is able to,
What did you do today?
Oh, everyone in it! Oh, you're calling
Yes,
me
they can't
lazy?
hear you.
now yes, now yes.
Yeah, sorry. Oh no, that was all silenced. My goodness. Oh, here we go. Right. Terribly sorry for us being quiet the whole time there, because we were being foolish. All right, that was very, very stupid of us. Okay, because I had it muted while we were watching the thing, and then I got confused. What? No. Well, no.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely disastrous. Right, I've got it now. Okay, let's do this. All right, let's go.
Oh, you're calling me lazy?
Yes, I'm calling you lazy.
What? Fuck you. All our asses are on the line here, alright? So why don't you start thinking about the group for once, you selfish prick?
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't I? I'm in this just as much as you are.
But you're out of your element, man. I suggest you just shut up and let the grown-ups do their thing.
I actually came here to reassure you that I'd have your back.
Oh, how noble of you. Now fuck off.
She's still there then? Yep, she's definitely still there. What are you going to do? What do you mean, what am I going to do?
I'll say it again. You threw dog poo into her garden.
Well, I didn't know she was going to be in there.
Well, you didn't check to make sure she wasn't. You just lobbed it in there without even looking.
Well, your dog came over and left a big brown monstrosity on our football pitch.
It is not the dog's fault.
Well, it's not mine.
Mate, she was sunbathing.
What makes you think I'm having an affair? Can't explain.
Don't bother. I've already booked a taxi. It'll be here soon. The rest of your stuff will arrive in a couple of days.
Please. Please. Please don't do this.
You've done this, Jack. Now get out of my house!
You know why you're here, don't you?
Because I'm pretty?
No jokes. This is serious.
Oh, I'm deadly serious. It's you guys that are the joke around here.
I think you know that in a few minutes, reinforcements are going to join us and they're going to be ready to grill you hard, unless you give them what they want.
So? What happens then?
You know damn well what they're capable of.
Am I meant to be scared? I know what I've done was the right thing to do.
You don't get to decide what's right and wrong. That makes you rogue.
Oh, I get it. They don't like rogues. Me neither.
All right. Okay. Hopefully everybody can hear us now. Okay. So this is a lot more show really. Okay. Right. So I assume these are a whole bunch of things that you've shot, in specifically for the reel. That's what I got from your YouTube channel. It's interesting because this is something that a lot of actors are doing now. Because it's also got what people really want to see is they actually want to see things which are a little bit longer. We're going to go through this again. The first thing I got to say is I know where you're coming from. I'm like you. I'm a guy who feels much older than he looks, and that's why I always grew beards and did things with my hair. And I know what it's like. I feel you, man. I feel you. Okay, so one of the things that we're gonna have to come to terms with is that we are the age that we are. Okay, because everything a lot of times you're pitching slightly higher in your age. What you got to do, we sometimes have to learn how to be a little bit younger. Okay, so let's go back to where we were again. Okay, so here we go. Flipping it around.
Oh, you're calling me lazy.
Yes, I'm calling you lazy.
There we go. Straight off the bat.
This first phrase, calling. I don't know if it's me or it's my poor English, but I don't get it.
You're calling me lazy?
Yeah, I mean the first.
No, are you calling me lazy?
Are you
No, are you calling me lazy?
Are you calling me lazy? We're doing Meisner now.
No, we're not doing Meisner. But are you? No, but you hear me saying that? Are you calling me lazy?
I cannot. Actually, I think there is a problem with diction or something. No, it's like it's the way it is. Okay.
You calling me lazy?
Okay. So it's not okay. Sorry, I didn't say anything.
Just forget about that. Right. One of the things I have to say to you, and you got to be careful, and we're going to mention this a lot during all of this. Be careful of the ironic laughter and the scoff. Okay? We do that when we feel insecure about what we're doing. So instead of going, are you calling me lazy? Is just ask, are you calling me lazy? Straight. Okay? And it's a lot of it's got to do with age, a lot of it's got to do with experience, and a lot of it's got to do with the sense that we should be performing something. Don't feel the necessity to do that. You're already enough, who you are, what you are, the way you speak, the way you interact 24 hours a day. It shouldn't have to change that much when somebody calls action. Sometime.
Yes, there is also another thing that we are saying in a lot of we are seeing, in a lot of demo reels, which is this need of looking to each other all the time, and that means is that I can, people don't do that. in real life. When I'm speaking to you, I need a place where I, what I think, and then I communicate with you. We call it whatever you want to call it, but it's always the same. And if you don't do that, then I lose authenticity in what you're doing, and I see the actor. So, you know what I mean? The idea of being all the time fixed with the other person is something we never do as human beings. And that is what I see a little bit here. You are so worried with your lines and with the commitment to do it right that you forget about who you are, about what the actual character would need at that time, or the distractions that in real life, happen. Sometimes we think something and then we communicate it. Sometimes there is something that appears and, and after we say what we have to say. It's very weird that we are all the time looking.
At any given moment, we're speaking to one of three people or groups. We're speaking to somebody else or a group of people. We're speaking to ourselves, because we do that a lot, particularly when there are other people present. We speak about things because we're trying to work out exactly how to say it, whatever it might be. Or we speak to the universe or the gods, however we might be. So I had a revelation the other day that sarcasm is telling a joke to God because nobody else appreciates it. Right? Charlie says,
that's interesting, because I was concerned about appearing distracted during a scene. So I do focus on my other actor. But I guess I'm overdoing that.
Screw the other actor.
No. It's not that.
Screw him.
You have to be complice with the people they are watching, with the viewer, with the spectator.
With the camera.
With the camera.
And the other reason why you don't always want to be looking at the other person when you're speaking is because what it does is it takes your status away. Okay, in life, we're pretty distracted. But the thing we're distracted most by is our own thoughts and ideas and our imagination. And it's very hard to have those thoughts, ideas, and imagination when we're looking into the eyeballs of another human being. The only time we really stare into somebody's eyes is, when we're totally in love with them, or if they've got a gun to our heads. Some could say that's the same thing. But anyway, what that results in is we do things. For example, when we're staring into somebody's eye, we begin. So, do I look at this eye or the other eye? Because we usually don't get to the stage where we actually have to choose which eye we're looking at.
Yes, being focused is not really. You can be focused, but in real life, when we are focused, there is a moment of uncertainty where we are looking for the right word. When we don't know exactly what we're going to say. You see how I do it. It's normally something that we are looking until we communicate, and that is we have that. We have in our genes. We understand that, and if you don't do that, you see the actor.
What I recommend you do after that, not now, after this. This is good for everybody. I recommend everybody does this because you'll learn a lot about what's possible to do in terms of acting. Go to YouTube and look up Andrew Scott university speech. I think that's what it is. Commencement speech. Okay?
Commencement.
Right? Cometimiento. I don't know, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. Commencement speech. Go look up Andrew Scott commencement speech. And it's him doing a speech that was given by the first black woman to graduate a university in Mississippi in, I think, 1962. I'm not entirely sure. It's a long, complicated speech about what you should do with your life. But the way he tells it, the way he does it, the way he comes up with the things that he's going to say and says them will teach you a lot about what you can get away with. One of the problems that we have as actors is we would hate somebody to accuse us of being selfish, taking focus away from somebody else, or upstaging them. On camera, that is not your preoccupation. That should not be your worry. That should be your focus. Okay? One of the things that happens when you look at somebody all the time is you lose status. The higher status the person, the less they're going to look at you, until they have incredible status, and then they'll look at you all the time. Right? They said that was one of the things with Obama. They said one of the things, he was very touchy-feely, and he was always staring you in the eye, which was quite intimidating. But he did it because he was such high status that he needed to make that contact with people because he didn't want to play high status.
Of course. He wanted to to inform the other person that was one of them. But that is really in a very singular situations, and it's really when we have also something to communicate that is in top of our status. But here, really in the normal conversation, if you focus too much in one person, we don't have a space for actually understand your only motives. How do you do to actually search for something? How we don't understand you. It's weird for us. No, try to look someone in real life for someone for more than. I don't know.
5 seconds, and you'll think, and they'll start going, "What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you?" They feel intimidated also.
They might call the police. That's just what might happen. But those things in particular. The other thing I would say, and we can apply this to everything. One of the strongest and most useful things that I think a piece of advice I give to an actor is, do what you can to hide the acting. Try to convince me that this is real. It's as if somebody was watching this, they thought it was just you in conversation with somebody else. That's really what it should. That's really what it should be. But one of our problems is we feel this need to perform, and I get it. I understand that implicitly. But what we have to do is we have to quiet that and understand what works. And the great thing is, because we've got these cameras now, we've got them on our phones or our computers or everything, we can do it and we can see what works.
Yeah, and also, the people are much more sophisticated now. They can, like that, understand if you are an authentic person or if you're an actor, you know. And it's in less than 10 seconds they can actually see it. So, and that is because also social nets and, and all everybody is communicating that way. So, people get to really understand very fast when it's really truthful or not.
Right, let's keep going, because we stopped after 8 seconds.
Yes, sorry.
Right, but no, we wanted to talk about that because it's something that we see all the time everywhere with actors who are starting out or perhaps come from another type of acting or whatever, is that what we call in Spanish the mirada fija, the fixed look, right? Where you're intently connected to the other actor. And all that we're saying is, it's just not necessary. The audience will make connection with you through the camera when you're not looking at anybody.
Yes,
because then you're going to be with us.
When you do that also as an actor, it's a way of hiding yourself, hiding your own emotions into the other person, because you need, to say the text. But actually, human beings don't do that. And also when you are really an actor that is experienced, what you want is that, instead of going to the other person, of going, is this thing that you always say is not. You're not going, but the camera goes to you, no? It's
the difference. The difference in the shape of acting in the theatre is convex, which means our acting arrives to the audience. On camera, the acting is concave, which means the audience will come to us. The camera will come to us. We just need to accept and use its attention. Okay, but getting back to this, it's very important, the thing I said about the self-referential ironic laughter. Actors do that when they're feeling insecure, or they subconsciously know they're telling a lie, or they're a little too afraid of exactly what they're saying.
Yeah.
What does that mean? It means we're scared of really saying it for real.
We didn't choose exactly what we want to do with that scene, because remember, in the way that you actually can perform in all your excellence is when you actually have chosen everything that you want to do, what you really want. What you really want is, a lot of times has nothing to do with what you're saying. It's what in theater we call subtext, or I don't know if you call it like that in English. So this subtext, what you really want is what we are looking for, as a spectator. We want to know that. And if it can be different or contradictory with the things that you are saying, or if you inform something else that is not to the other person, we immediately understand that you have a life on yourself, and you want to, and that is where it's more attracting to us, to understand what does this other person is really think, what this person is really thinks about, and sometimes if you don't do that, then we cannot investigate, which is actually what you have to do as an actor. And as an actor, you generate questions all the time to your viewer.
The other thing I'd say, and this is I think it's a good piece of advice for everybody in general, is come up with something which is very close to the sort of thing you might say every day. I jokingly say, oh, do you want some coffee? Right? That will be the phrase I genuinely use, because it's a good phrase to fool people into thinking it's real. If you go, do you want some coffee? right? It's very hard to do a number on that, right? It's very hard to overact, as some people say. I don't like the term overacting because it suggests if you did less, it would work better. It's not that.
Yeah,
Overacting is a different thing.
Let's use his thing. He says overdoing. Yeah, it's very hard to overdo, when you're saying...
Yeah, but no. It's not that you're overdoing it. It's just that you shouldn't really do it. It doesn't mean you should do it less. It means you should do it when it's called for. It's less of a decision. You have to be more interested in you here rather than the working with the other person. You're two individuals. But you have to imagine that we as actors, it's like a sort of an exhibition tennis match, right? We both want to win. It's not life or death, but we both want to look the best doing it. That's kind of the idea here. You should be at your utmost best, and so should the other guy. And you should both be fighting for the attention here right now.
Yes. Really what you want to do is to get complex with the people that is the viewer, with the spectator, and really tell things that only him can know, so that the other actor cannot know. It's like your inner thoughts, your inner desires, your need. That's what we want to see, and that is something that you cannot do when you are looking at the another person, with a really focused look.
And I'm going to speak very scientifically here. I think it's because you and I both having one thing in common, many things in common, I'm sure, but the fact that we're classic ectomorphs. What that means, which means we're tall and thin. Well, at least we used to be. What that means is that we don't have the same weight, as it were, when it comes in terms of who we are, because of the natural agility that we have. What happens, and it's something that comes with age, more than anything else, is to learn how to sit deep into ourselves. Okay, and that's tough. It's tough when you're young, and it's tough doing in this business because it's entirely based on insecurity. It's entirely based on the fragility of where we happen to be at any given time and all the unknowable circumstances that we're going to have to do what we got to do in it. The other actors, the directors, the camera, God, there's a million different things that can go wrong. That's why we have to concentrate on ourselves, decide what our strategy is, and dance where we're going to dance. Be careful with the self-referential laughter there. We do that when we're lying. Did you drink the beer? I don't know what you're talking about. What beer? We do that when we're lying, and we do it when we're acting because we're kind of conscious of not telling the truth. Let's keep going, Assumpta, otherwise...
okay, let's go, yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck you. All our asses are on the line here, alright? So why don't you start thinking about the group for once, you selfish prick?
Right, you see what I mean about the self-referential laugh, smile? Is you're a little scared of taking it too seriously. If your action is to intimidate him. If it's to threaten him. Don't try to hide it behind playing a second action, which is to brush it off. Just go for it. Play it clean, play it hard, play it simple. Because what we're doing as an audience, we want to know what you want and what you're doing. Remember, we don't care what you feel. No audience member cares what they feel, what you feel as an actor. They only care about what you want. Anything else, something to add?
No, that's it.
Okay.
We don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't I? I'm in this just as much as you are.
But you're out of your element, man. I suggest you just shut up.
It's an interesting thing that you say here, Charlie. Charlie says, I absolutely agree, although I might know that the character is lying, but your points are completely true. Yeah, I get what you mean. Even if you are lying, tell a lie like it's the truth. But don't reveal to him it's a lie. You can reveal to us and your insecurity.
Exactly. That is the moment where you don't use this fixed look. Is when you are.
And this is when you do this. You do this. You do the thing and you go. Are you calling me lazy? You share with the camera this uncertainty about what he just said. Are you calling me lazy? Right? But what you can give that to us. But don't reveal it to him. Exactly. Remember, we're with you on this, right? The camera. That's us over there.
the camera is your best friend. Sometimes actors also do that at the beginning because they want to, hide from the camera, and they think that, that the people, they are nervous to say their lines because they want to finish, not because they feel bad or whatever, but, they think that if they occupy more space that is actually saying the lines, then someone is going to say, no, cut. It's not. Is that the contrary? What the people are really interested is about your thoughts. Remember, movies, film acting is about thoughts. It's not about the words.
Well said. The general shot is movement. The medium shot is word. The close-up, where we can see your eyes, you really see what's going on, we're interested in what you're thinking. Now, what people go, well, what happens when I got no lines? What happens when I got no...
Revelation.
Revelation of the day.
Is that sometimes when we are in DemoReels and we're shooting, that is actually what you want to see. You want to see as an actor this. Why? Because you want to see his acting. And and that's what he says, close-ups, you want to see the thoughts. You don't care about emotions, or what you care is about the thoughts. Like that I can identify that you are a very good actor. We've been talking with a lot of casting directors and people, and they are really the same. I mean, it's a pity that you cannot say it, you cannot watch it in the Spanish channel, but they're all saying the same. What I don't care if he talks. And that is what we have to accomplish. This listening to the other actor, having being complice with the audience, really revealing your inner thoughts. That is the good acting that we want to see in a close-up.
Mac Wolven says a very interesting, smiles betray 40% of the time. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about, Mac.
Yeah.
There's Mac the knife. It's a very, very astute point. One of the things you want to do, if you want to try this, you can all try this at home. Take your telephone and put it on a shelf or a tripod and start recording. Feel its attention. Now, you're not going to act, you're not going to perform, but I want you to think about some things. Maybe do a calculation in your head. Maybe think about the last time that you had a date, or think about your first kiss, but don't show it to me. Hide it. Share it with me, but don't show it. Okay? The idea is what we want to do, and I think I see it happening faster than ever, is we want to be able to have a relationship with the attention of the camera. The camera is walking into the party or the bar, and the hottest girl in the bar is eyeing you up, and you feel her attention, and you can feel her looking at you, and you will move yourself in her general direction, but you won't look her in the eye, but you'll let her get a load of that. She's still looking at me. Is she? Great. Is she with anybody? That's the attention of the camera. That's what you should do. It's funny, we were watching First Blood, the first Rambo movie the other day, and there's a scene where, it's on Netflix right now, and there's a scene where Sylvester Stallone is in a mine up to his waist in water, covered in rats, with a torch, and there was a point where he's moving up this tunnel, and he actually turns round to look around. There's no reason for him to do that other than showing the camera his face. No more than him showing him in this, how the hell do I get out of here look. Okay? This is the thing that we have to make our peace with it. Right? It's very, very important. As guys, we've got a slightly lower bar to climb over, because women are dealing with whole different levels of beauty standards and all the rest of it, and it's, high definition cameras are not the kindest thing, or highly contrasted lighting, but we have to make our peace with the camera. My theory used to be it takes about 4 to 5 years to get used to working with the camera. Now it's much faster because we're surrounded by cameras, high definition cameras all the time. But try that thing about seeing how you think, and you'll see how powerful it is.
And you is the thing that the viewer is going to be glued to you. It's like the best action movie is if you are able to actually share your thoughts, the people are going to be with you all the time, and the people are going to want more, and the people are going to understand or not, or the uncertainty. These moments where it is gold for the person to watch. Okay, let's
Gold, right? Gold. Right, okay, so let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
Right, let me just take this out of here. Let me just
Oh,
flip.
you're calling me...
Right.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, don't I? I'm in this just as much as you are.
But you're out of your element, man. I suggest you just shut up and let the grown-ups do their thing.
I actually came here to reassure you that I'd have your back.
Oh, how noble of you. Now fuck off.
She's still there then.
Yep, she's definitely still there.
What are you going to do?
I like you more here
What do you mean, what
than
am
with
I
this
gonna do?
hair. I like you here.
She's always been like that.
Yeah, because
She likes her young blonde men
no,
the way God intended.
no, but it's more castable than the other one. I think
I think. Look, the thing is, we've said this to people before. We have there's two things. There's an image that we have of ourselves. This is when we got longish hair. I used to have long hair all the time, and we have this on a white horse in armor kind of image of ourselves. And there's the image which is actually useful and sellable. The image that you have later in this demo reel of you as the young man who's betraying his fiery red-headed girlfriend. That's the more useful thing right now. Okay.
See.
Okay. So there's sunbathing in April. This is the first thing. Now look, I'm going to show you something here. It's not you. It's your pal, and it's got to do with comedy, right? Okay. We come after this guy. This guy, by the way, is upstaging himself terribly. He has the perfect moment. Just if I saw that, I would be like, he could take you to the cleaners here, but he does the same thing that you do. He looks at you too much. What you need is two people who are in this cockfight. When I say a cockfight, I'm not talking about the animal. You're talking about two people in a pissing contest of who has more power. That's what we've got going on here. Two adult men who could kill each other if they wanted to, and then they just decide not to do it. Right? So, this is your buddy looking out the window. Watch.
Fuck off.
Right. Okay. He's giving it what I call big eyes acting. Right? He has to look to see if he can see something. Top tip for you. If you have to see somebody on camera, this is how it works. I'm going to put myself here. What you do is you look and then you see. You look and then you see. You look and then you see. It's 2 moments. Nothing more complicated than that. No. Right? It's not really necessary. Look, see. Do it with something up close. You can look at a book, and then you can see what it says. You can hear the radio, and then you listen. Same thing. We do it all the time. Just a sort of extant tip that works rather well. Anyway, let me get back to where I was, which was...
In there? Well, you didn't check to make sure she wasn't.
Okay.
You threw dog poo into her... What do you mean?
Let's just go back.
He's definitely still there.
What are you going to do? What do you mean, what am I going to do? I'll say it again. You threw dog poo into her garden.
Well, I didn't know she was going to be in there.
Well, you didn't check to make sure she wasn't. You just lobbed it in there without even looking.
Well, your dog came over and left a big brown monstrosity on our football pitch.
It is not the dog's fault.
Well, it's not mine.
Mate, she was sunbathing.
What makes you think I'm...
Thoughts?
No, it's a little bit the same thing about this fixed look, but apart from that,
Well, it's a comedy thing, which is the trouble with comedy is you got to play it really real, right? You're both playing an attitude of panic here right now, right? Which I get, but then the panic should give way to let's have a serious conversation about whose dog shat where.
No, you
seriously.
You know
I mean, it shat there.
Yeah.
You saw it. It was there, and she was, and it has to become a very real, serious conversation about defecation.
No, I don't know, but as a as a viewer, I don't know what about the scene or the movie, but what I tend to do when there is someone that is coming is I'm not yelling. I'm just, because I don't want the other person to see. I don't want the person to actually hear me. So instinctively, what I'm going to do is to lower my voice instead of going up. And if the window is open, that looks like, then more so. So what I mean, is a little bit of contradiction there, and I don't know if this girl is gonna pass or coming to the house. So I am a little bit petrified and I would tend to reduce my volume.
Yeah, but look, one of the things that we're dealing with, and you're saying this is the first thing you did after you came back to acting, is a lot of the time that we're seeing actors who are working in student films or doing show reels or whatever, the quality of the image and everything, and all the sound and the editing, everything is really, really good. It's like the short film that you sent me of the one in the forest, right? It's very, very competent. And there's nice stuff in there I think you could use. You asked me about that before. And I think there is some good moments that you could use that are in there. The trouble is we're dealing with people who very often know a lot less about what they're doing than perhaps we do sometimes, okay? That's a certain thing, okay? So what we got to be conscious of, there you go, Laura Bayonas, who's in Los Angeles right now, she says, Charlie, you are good. Oh, Laura.
It's blondie.
Yeah, she's blonde. She likes the young blonde gentleman as well. So one of the things that we got to do, and one of our objectives is always to try and make actors director-proof, okay? Because you're going to hear a lot of really shitty direction in your time, and you got to know what works for you. Because what works for you doesn't necessarily work for the same thing for everybody else. Let's keep going. I'm going to shut up, because now he's a very, very naughty boy. And good looking as well.
An affair.
Let's go back to
Sunbathing.
What makes you think I'm having an affair?
Okay, can you stop there, the image?
Nice cut.
You see, to be a technical actor, no, I want you to have this image of him there. If you see this image, okay, the light, okay, is something that you can take advantage of it, because you have the light from your right? You're looking at him, but you can do a lot of other things to be able to get the light, and at the same time, because I cannot see your eyes, I cannot see your soul and your thoughts. So that's something that sometimes the director of photography should know, but also if you're conscious of what you're a technical actor and you understand the lighting, you have to understand the lighting, because if not, that's what's going to happen. A lot of times they cannot see your eyes. So it's always good that when you are in front of a light, understand the position of the camera, understand where the other actor is going to be, and give it to the light, but give it also to the other actor.
The idea is that if both eyes can't see the light, you don't have light in both eyes. If both eyes can't see the camera can't see both eyes. I'm going to give you an example of this right now. Okay, so here I am, right? This eye can't see the light. This eye is out of light. Say I'm speaking to somebody over here, okay? I've got the eye out. You're the camera there. If I speak to them here, you can only see one of my eyes. So really what I'm interested in is speaking to them here. Okay, because then I've got light, I've got the camera, and I've got the light in my eyes. You see? How do I see that? Well, I can close one eye until I can see the light now.
It's a little trick, but it's very, very helpful.
And here it's not as severe. This would be the one. So if I'm taking it down, no, that's a little bit too much. As you can see, that what will happen is the glint will disappear from the light, from my eye. Here, I'm going to have it. You see that? Now, what's useful about that? Well, it allows us to begin to understand the context of where we are, not only in the frame, this frame that we have here, but also in terms of where the fields of light are. Okay, and what does that let us do? Well, it lets them light us in a more detailed way, so it looks better, and it also allows us to use the light when we're going to hide things and show things. Now, this might sound like Chinese or something that's very, very complicated to understand, but it's just another stage in understanding how to work in this sort of technical monstrosity which is acting on camera.
And you have to be technical because, those days, the things are, are going very fast, and you have to understand what's going on at every given moment in a movie set. And for that, you have to understand lights, you have to understand sound, you have to understand everything because, you have to, get it and, do your best to be able to, to express exactly what you want and how do you want it. And you need to know.
Yeah. Laura Bayones says, I didn't say hot. Sorry. Okay. Dates off. Right. You're done. Right. Anyway, let's go ahead and so we got to hear the breakup. Right.
What makes you think I'm having an affair? Can't explain.
Don't bother.
Okay. What I can see here is that you were a little bit constrained to do some movements because the camera was going to do them, and all this silence there and the things that they're going on, the way that I can see that there is this technique, this idea that the director wanted to do in camera. And I see, direct actors that they're trying to do their best, but you really have to be a very technical actor to really get the best to this shot.
My tactic would have been to use the camera to death there. She throws me the knickers, the pants. I have them in my hand. It's gone down to my hand. It's going to come up. What it's going to do is going to come up, and I'm not going to be looking at her, but I'm going to find the camera, and I'm going to say, as it reaches me, I'm going to say, I can explain. Thinking, how the hell am I going to explain this?
Thinking, not saying.
I can explain. Right? Now, you've got a million different things going through your mind and you're hiding them all. Now, when people say less is more, it's nonsense. Less is not as more, less is less. If less is more, nothing is everything. It's just maths. Okay, so the important thing is that we have a lot of things going on and we decide not to show any of them. I recommend you watch Ray Donovan, watch Liev Schreiber. He's the most extraordinary actor and he's this incredibly charismatic. And I believe one of the reasons he's charismatic is not only because he's enormous, but because everybody is looking to him for solutions and every single thing that he says has import, is important. So they'll go, Ray, what are we going to do about it? Right? They'll go, and then he'll take 5 minutes and he'll say what it is. Or they'll go, Ray, do you want some coffee? And he'll go, no, I'm good. But you're like, because he's really thinking about it. He's really doing a quick, like, if I had coffee now and we'll sleep later on. He's really going through it. So sometimes that process of trying to work out what the hell we're going to say,
it pays off.
It is at least as important and interesting, if not more, than what we're going to say.
Yes. And isn't the silence, can you put me there?
What?
Is it in the silence that the actual actor, it shows the creativity. Silences are for us gold, really. So, look for these moments and just show it to us. Think about those moments and just, they're going to be seen. It's like a car crash. People are like, how you say polillas to a light?
Moths.
Moths to a light.
Moths to a flame, as we say in English.
Moths to a flame, exactly.
And moths to a flame, they are.
Try it, you'll see.
Yep. Yeah, no, you can't. There's a very famous story of Bertolt Brecht asking everybody in his troupe to draw as much attention from the audience as possible to make it so everybody looked at them and people were jumping about and doing cartwheels and taking their clothes off. But everybody focused on the one man who was at the side of the stage trying to get a knot out of his shoelaces. Right? It's a good lesson for everybody. It's a very good drama school type lesson. Right, okay, we got to about here. Ooh.
I can't explain.
Don't bother. I've already booked a taxi. It'll be here soon. The rest of your stuff will arrive in a couple of days.
Please don't do this.
You've done this, Jack. Now get out of my house!
You know why you're here, don't
Well, I think you're well shot of her. She seems like a nightmare. How about you?
Yeah. I think you're
Yeah, I think you. So well done, mate. Well done. You know. All right, let's keep going.
you?
Because I'm pretty?
No jokes. This is serious.
Oh, I'm deadly serious. It's you guys that are the joke around here.
I think you know.
Now, your friend here, she's got the fixed look problem as well. Okay, it's dropping her status. She's a pretty girl. You're the one with all the light, okay, because she's in shadow. But just an observation here.
Then in a few minutes, reinforcements are going to join us, and they're going to be ready to grill you hard, unless you give them what they want.
So? What happens then?
You know damn well what they're capable of.
Am I meant to be...
Right, it's the same thing again. You see what we mean? You don't have to look at her like that. You don't have to look at her like that. Look around you. You're waiting for the guys. See what's happening. If you seem to be a police officer of some form, or somebody in law enforcement, or somebody with authority. And for that, what you're doing, the best example of that is Casualty. Charlie, the nurse. He never looks anybody in the eye because there's always something going on. I love that guy. I love what he would do. He'd be like that. So I'm really, really sorry, but your father had a heart attack and he's dead. And if you want, you can go and see him down the hall. Really sorry. And then he'd leave. And he had this incredible status about it.
Yes.
You know? But he says, I'm so aware of it now. Oh, God. No, Charlie, the whole point is that you're aware of it. You're going to be conscious of not doing it. You're going to find a better thing to do. Okay?
The better thing to do is to exactly choose beforehand exactly what you want to say, what you really want, what is these inner thoughts, and you're going to see it's going to work very well.
But the other thing, Charlie, is you're going to see everybody else doing it. You're going to see all the time, and you're going to go, that's what they're doing. That's why it's not coming across as authentic. It's not true. Okay?
Look at what Matt Hudson says. It's very interesting. It says, I've always heard, find your light. Today was the first time I actually understood how.
Good.
Exactly. Good. Nice. Yeah, that's what we want.
That's the whole point. It's open source. I mean, this is the thing. The other thing you'll get is if you're on a film set, a lot of actors won't share their tricks and what they understand because they're playing. It's all a game. This is like a sport. Everybody wants to win. Nobody's going to tell you where you're supposed to go. Nobody will teach you how to find that mark without looking at it.
And and directors neither, because it's not their job.
They don't know. It's like I said, a film director teaching you about film acting is like a man trying to tell a woman how to find her clitoris. It's, unless, perhaps if he's a gynecologist, I don't know. But you understand what I mean? It's not their experience. It's not their field of experience. They're not supposed to be experts in that. They're on the other side. Okay.
Matt Hudson, nice person, says, Charlie, you're such a captivating leading man. It's true. That's what I mean. I like you as a handsome, as the most handsome you can be. You
need to be in a big shirt ripping bodices.
I just want
Scott's
to be...
created a monster now. Can't wait to see the after.
I want you to be James Bond.
No, James Bond's really, you have to be that. He's the only blonde one there's been.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry, it's going to be a woman now. So
he says, Scott's created a monster now. Can't wait to see the after.
As well as
with
the before.
This as the before.
And Laura says, el mejor consejo,
the best advice that,
Well, it says, the best advice that they'd ever given me was, when you don't know what to do nothing. My answer would be, hide the fact that you don't know what you're doing. Even if you got to hide that you don't know what you're doing, that's better than really not doing anything. Okay? Deciding to do nothing is also a choice.
Hiding is a good one. Certainty is another one.
Uncertainty is fantastic.
Yes, is what we really are doing all the time,
I think, I'm not sure. Right, let's keep going this again, because we also have Matt's. I know it's getting.
It's getting late.
I know it's getting late. Okay, so hang on. Let's
go.
Ed, I know what I've done was the right thing to do.
You don't get to decide what's right and wrong. That makes you rogue.
Oh, I get it. They don't like rogues. Me neither.
Right, that's a hell of a line, Charles. Chuckles. that makes you rogue? Because it's kind of a cheesy line. When you got a cheesy line, you pretty much have to want to play it or sell it in a different way, and that's what makes you rogue. Okay, one of the things that's really dangerous, and we've all done it, we all do it, and we all will continue to do it, is to play attitudes. Try to avoid playing attitudes. The attitude is the thing that makes us think that we're acting. It's not. It's being in action and being very clear on what we've decided to do is the thing that makes us perform better. Okay.
Okay. Let's have
right.
The next
let's
person you have there lined up.
Yeah.
Because yeah.
Okay. This is Matt,
things.
our new favorite audience member. Okay. So here's Matt. So give me 1 second. All right.
Wow, that's nice.
There's Matt. He's definitely not a teenage girl from South London. Right, so here we go.
Very nice.
Mr. Jackson, you're late. Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
You wanted to see me, sir?
Bailey. Come in. Close the door. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable.
Sorry.
Bailey, I'm going to cut to the chase. You like taking pictures? This one's nice. Lovely family. What's the matter, Bailey boy? You look a little on edge. Is there a problem?
Al, do me a favor. Lock the front door when you come back.
What are you afraid of, Ted?
Not you, that's for damn sure. I really don't think you should be doing this.
You of all people, you want me to walk away now?
It's not safe.
Is anything in life?
Where am I? What happened?
You lost, Benji. It's over.
Didn't have to be this way.
We couldn't have done anything. Your mother knew it was her time. Her mind was set. I couldn't change it. I can't do this anymore. When she sees Ellie, she's happy. The minute anybody tries to tell her the truth, she just shuts them out. What am I supposed to do? No, I'm thinking I'm gonna bring down some FBI agents, see what they can dig up.
I don't want no trouble.
Where's he staying?
I don't know where he stays. But I do know where the deal's going down.
Where?
Jimmy, relax. He's right, you know. Come on. We don't have shit to go on. Just let it go.
Let it go. Just like that. Let it go.
We don't have any choice, Jimmy. Come on. There's this one time we're gonna have to turn this over to the A-team. Okay?
I understand 2 languages, and Spanish is not one of them.
Are you sure you have nothing? I believe that should have refreshed your memory.
Did you really think that civilian shithole prison in Novokuznetsk would stop me?
Yes?
It looks this time like I holding winning cards. And now you will give me what I want. And what I want is to watch you suffer.
You scared, you son of a bitch.
That's what I said. Albert, maybe the time is come for you to focus on the original ideas of the Führer.
What are you going to do?
I will join with my nationalist and socialist brothers and sisters so that we can work together to finally solve this very serious problem we have in our country with all of these racially inferior people.
Stay away from me.
They always make this so difficult. You know, the people at the Eden Project do really good things here. Look at you. Amazing what you've become. Uninterrupted with your entire family.
Bailey!
And we intend
Bailey!
to see that you get what's coming to you.
Bailey!
People's Electric.
Bailey!
We got the power.
Wow. Wow, Matt, that was a whole world of wow.
A lot of things.
Wow, check that out. Look, Matt, there's one thing I would say to you, right? The first thing I'd say to you is, if I was working with you and I was directing with you, if you were in a scene that I was directing or a movie or whatever it was, I'd simply walk up to you, put my hand on your shoulder, right? Wink at you and say, "You got this, baby." Right? You've got that weight. I mean, as a person, I'm not talking about physical weight. I mean, you've got the weight, the presence, the look. You've got an amazing voice. You've got a voice that people, the sort of voice that I imitate when I'm doing video games and cartoons and stuff. You've got that. You already have that. You don't have to force a lot because you already are what most people are pretending to be. Okay? You've got the presence. You've got the voice. You've got you're photogenic in the sense that we want to watch you. You don't have to force it anymore. You really don't. We're already there. We're in. What you got to do is you got to not be afraid to play those high status roles in the most simple way imaginable. Because we're already inventing stuff about you. You don't have to tell me anymore. We're already there. You don't have to inform me anymore about what's going on. I'm already making stuff up. So anything else you do on top of that is extraneous. It's not necessary. It's really not necessary.
Also, you see the voice, the voice that you have with the, it's what? It's a character already. It informed me so many things about you. I cannot actually say why, but that's what I see.
Matt says here, in a world.
Exactly.
I mean, you're already the voiceover guy. You know what I mean? You've got that going on. It's awesome.
So let's see one bit per one bit, and then we'll.
Yeah. Okay. Let's.
Mr. Jackson.
This is an example. I saw this straight from the start. Mr. Jackson. You'd have to do nothing more than say it. Why? Because all the rest of the job's been done for you. Sound effect, way you're dressed, what you look like, the fact that you got a pair of angel wings behind you.
Yes.
You really don't have to go any further than that.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that's it, Mr. Jackson. That tells me everything. One of the problems that we have as actors is we have this need to do something which seems out of the ordinary, something which seems difficult to do, but we shouldn't need to do anything difficult. Doing what we have to do between action and cut is already difficult. If we can just take what we do in everyday life and then do it when somebody said action, Jesus, we'd be the best actors imaginable. If that's the case, why do we then feel compelled to do something that's so different from the way we would normally speak, move, act, think, present ourselves?
The image is so powerful that sometimes you have to look at the context and understand that really, you have to play the contrary, because the contrary means, if you are a very powerful guy, as you have there, and you have everything there, it just, it's much more effective if you really, like if you were in your house, with no problem at all. It's more effective as a choice than, to try to also, how you say, gild the lily?
Gild the lily.
Gild the lily. And
Rizar a rizo.
Exactly. And doing it, it's underlining. And we don't want to underline. We want to go against, actually, what is being said.
You see, I'm sure you're not like this, Matt. I'm sure you're like a great guy to go have a single malt with. But one of the things is, if you've already got those things, which is the gravitas, the presence, the voice, the look, all of those different things, if you then do more of that on top of it, it's in serious danger of becoming comic, right? Because there are some moments here which are comic moments, because that's what you're doing, right? The danger is that it's comic when it's not supposed to be comic. That's the thing. But that's what I was saying. I was watching this and I was going, like, you're like a mixture of early Steve Martin / Leslie Nielsen, like 70s version of those two, right? That's what it came of, that earnestness and that directness, okay? And because one of the reasons where their comedy came from was their apparent gravitas and seriousness, right? So anyway, let's keep going. Let's shoot through this, because it's quite long.
It's normal, these things should have been.
Wednesday. Yes, sir.
You shouldn't look at him.
Yeah, you don't need to look at him. You don't need to smack him. It's like literally, you don't need to snatch it away. You just need to, right? Because you have the status. He's on his. He's got to be careful with you.
He has to go to you to get the letter or whatever, instead of you going to him.
Yeah.
And that's how I would do that. And it's not only that, it's to see, what is more efficient, to actually say everything or not to say that much, and call to the imagination of the people to actually complete your action. I think it's the second one, right?
Yeah.
Because what you want is really to, generate questions into the audience. So the choices that you do should be not underlining, but actually having a contradiction on what the actual context is saying to you. You're powerful, okay, so then you are, you're very easy man, come on. It's like the Obama, no? Obama that was doing, I am the president, so I can be very touchy, because the people are
It's like that scene because you're still waiting there. What can I do to give this guy status? In the old days you'd smoke a cigarette. Nobody smokes cigarettes in movies anymore. But what would you do? I'd have you eat an ice cream. You know what I mean? Or, something which would just say that you're on your way to do something else. But these are more directorial things, and they're not that important. I see you there, Josh. I got your demo. I watched it earlier on. I enjoyed it thoroughly. By the way, Josh is here.
But we're not going to see it.
We're not going to have time.
No?
I already emailed Josh to mention about it.
Okay.
But I do have it, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Thank you, Josh, for being there.
And as Matt says, that the wings were there already.
Bailey.
Instead of underlying who you are and the much more powerful men you have, at that point, you are alone with a camera. You have so many things to do in that point. It's like reflecting of what this little thing does. Had been afraid of you or not, or no, and what to do in the best, or going and see who is in there, or if someone saw you,
Matt says an interesting thing. He says, theatre to camera is so difficult. That's the challenge before me. 30 years on stage, 5 years on screen.
I love to work with you.
Right.
I love to work with you. You have to be with us the next time that we do a workshop. I love that because it's so easy. It's so easy, but you have to be in actual space that is a confident space for you to be able to understand all these things, because when you're working, you have to go to results, and what you need is to try. You know, you need to try.
And fail miserably.
Yeah.
And then watch it and see what works.
Yeah.
Which is really the most important thing. Whenever we look at these things, we don't say good or bad. We're trying to think. We're trying to work out what does and what doesn't work. In terms of theatre and camera, there's a way of thinking about it which might help. The major difference between theatre and camera is the size of the window through which people are looking at you. In the theatre, the window is very big. It's the size of the proscenium arch. It's enormous, and there's hundreds of them, perhaps even more. And you have to relate to all of those people, and all those people need to hear you. And the camera, it's not hundreds of people, and it's not a broad stage. It's one person listening to you, and the window's this big. That's the size of the window. So all you need to do is that thing which previously that you would share with the audience, now you're going to share it with this one person who's the camera. Like I was saying to Charlie before, it's the hot girl who's looking at him in the party. That's the camera.
And you know,
that's your audience.
And your acting has to vary depending on the size of the shot. You know that is a very interesting thing to try on our classes, because you know, in that moment when you see, oh, I see, so I'm here, your acting has to be different, and I can feel that you don't know the difference, you know, because the same thing that you're doing like that or can work, or the same thing you're doing in a long shot doesn't work. So you know, all this is experience and in front of a camera and being in a confident space so that you can actually try it on.
Charlie says an interesting thing here. He says, I remember when I was in film school, I directed a project with an actor who came from theatre and wanted to get more screen scenes. He really struggled to keep not to keep moving his eyebrows in his close-ups. Okay.
Yeah. So, but you see, the problem is that I don't have to do that. Is not a good thing.
Right.
You know.
So you're talking about from the idea of directing from the word
not
no.
do that. Don't do that. No. It's
No.
not reduction. It's at all. You know, when when you are in a close up, you're
not doing it. You're like this.
You're frozen.
You end up like this. You end up like
like
Nicole Kidman from the eyebrows up. So everything.
Yes.
You know. So but one of the important things is that in theatre you're used to pushing out what's going on outwards to the audience. Okay, that's the first thing you need to do. This is the idea of it being convex. This is the idea of it belonging to you first. The thing which is driving anything that you're speaking is the thought. You don't have to work about what you say and how you say it. Diction isn't important. I don't care what anybody says. Breathing isn't important. In fact, not breathing on camera is more important than breathing.
Absolutely.
Watch. Try this out there right now. Go to say something and stop breathing. You can't cut, can you? You can't cut. That's what you need to do on camera. And that goes against every single piece of acting training there's ever been when it comes to voice. Not breathing. Oh, by the way, that's the sound of an idea. And when we hear that,
we say, oh,
somebody's going to say something. So when you hear, if you've got a dialogue and somebody says something, which is the stimulus for what you're going to say, when they say it, go. So when they stop speaking, you then respond to the point that stimulated it. Okay? That's how it works.
You're going to feel the audience as much.
But you'll feel that it's impossible to cut. And it's a frozen idea and moment that we are waiting for it to be exposed. So this is an important thing, what Assumpta says, is that you can't direct anybody or even yourself from the point of view of no, or I can't do that, unless it's physically dangerous or you're going to hurt somebody either emotionally or physically. That goes without saying.
But you have to be free. You have to be free because, you know, you have to be fluid like you are in normal life. You know what I mean? You cannot not think about, no, I don't have to do that because then it's wrong. They're gonna see you doing that.
And the other thing that happened is with your theatre actor friend that you were working with, he is used to acting with his voice, his body, and everything that he has. That's the thing. His control of that is the thing that allows him to act and act dynamically. The trouble with camera is none of that matters. The only thing that you're acting with is your thought. So what you really need to have to work on is to quiet and simplify and have commitment to the thing that you're thinking about. Look, Hamlet, to be or not to be. It's a guy trying to work out whether he should kill himself.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is. He just says it in a very florid and eloquent way. But it's really somebody who's actually asking a question that you can't find the answer to. You know, there are actors out there. Andrew Scott's an excellent example of it. Mark Rylance, go watch Bridge of Spies if you haven't seen it, the Spielberg film. There's a scene, the first scene in the interrogation room between him and Tom Hanks, where he tells the story of the Standing Man. You can find that on YouTube as well. Look up Bridge of Lies, Standing Man. Watch Mark Rylance. It's a very simple block of text. It's no more than maybe 6 lines long. But watch what he does with it when he is remembering into this deep memory at the same time he's realizing why he said it and why it works to say that that's what you are, the standing man. Right, the man who you hit him and he keeps getting up.
Don't think about the not to do's, but think about what I want to say.
Yeah, that's it.
Let's.
Yep. Sorry. Let's keep going. Let's keep going on. Right. All right, 1 second. Let me just. So we're gonna come up to. So this we got this thing in the office, and here we go. All right.
Bailey, come in. Close the door. Have a seat. Make yourself comfortable.
Sorry.
Bailey, I'm going to cut to the chase. You like taking pictures? This one's nice.
You see, you're
Lovely
here
family.
at acting for a close-up, and it's not. It's a medium-long shot, and so it doesn't work. You do that in a close-up, and it goes fantastically well. Here, it doesn't work.
That's curious. That's an interesting observation. That.
You like that?
Yeah, I like that. She's good. She's good. You've done this before, right?
No, but it's very interesting, because you had this really close up when they told to you like, no, don't move too much. No, I cannot. I, and you didn't do it. There is also an out of focus thing, when and it's because it's like that. They like your face. You see, people love putting your face in a close up. You can see that.
Yeah, you can see that here. That's why they lose focus on you. Because you're coming from here, you're in focus, okay, and you turn.
And they said to you,
and you're taller than they expected.
Close the door.
And then you move. And then you
Have a
move,
seat.
and you see the minute you move out of that, you move out of focus. That's a really tough thing to focus on.
But that is because you're not enough a technical actor, and they are not very well experienced directors, of course.
And they're not
and
very technical technicians.
They're not very technical technicians. So
because it's really hard to do. That's a really tough thing to have.
But it's beautiful, like it's dancing. That is dancing with the camera, and that is so good when you actually get it. It's so nice when you dance with the person that is there, because you can do so many things. You see, when you go with a close-up and you just, have to go a little bit, doing something that it reveals movement. Of course, the movement has to be slow because, the camera, everything has to be slow. So, you are like, you're as a person inside, you're, and no, in that moment, you have to get it. You have to really, because that is your moment. That is really when the people are seeing your thoughts, and there you can say so many things with only, these 2 or 3 little steps that you do. You can say, wow, the Bible, and you must, because if not, it's like, someone walking like that, because there is, God. Yeah. So you can feel that. So what we have to do is just to understand that in that moment, because it's our moment, the technical stuff should be already, like that. So what we do about that, in those moments, we have to justify the movement. We have to all the time, think that this person, at the same time that you are walking and this close up, you can just, go there and, and see the guy and observing him, and then you understand why you are slow.
You see, one of the other things that happens, and that happens between the technical actor and Charlie, I'm sure this is his experience working with somebody who's coming from theatre, a lot of theatre, is that nobody really takes the time, nor is there the time, to actually explain to the actor exactly technically what's going on, which is that when we gain distance between us and the camera, the focal distance will change, and the focus puller, if there is one, and I hope there is one, has to change the focus on the camera. So if we change the distance, the alternative to that is we maintain the same distance between us. Okay? This is one of the reasons why the old spy cameras that they used to give spies up until about 30 years ago, be a tiny little camera that was about this size, and it came with a chain that hang off the front of it. Did you know this? Oh. It had a chain, and what it would mean is if you were photographing a document because you were a spy, you put the document on the table, you put the camera above the document. The length of the chain was the precise focal length of the lens. So do you like that?
Yes.
So the chain would touch the document and you'd go click, and you knew that it was going to be in focus.
Good.
Because it had a very wide aperture.
Spies, love spies.
Had a very wide aperture which allowed you to shoot in relatively little light, so you didn't need a flash. But it came with a chain, and at the end of the chain was a bar, and that had to touch the document. So what happens is that if you can maintain the same distance between you and the camera, you'll maintain the focus. That's just the way it works. So if you're closing the distance, then they will have to adjust the focus. What happens now with the lighter cameras, the DSLRs, the 5Ds, the 7Ds, or the smaller cameras, the Sonys, there's a bunch of them right now, is they've got incredible autofocus, but you can't really trust it a lot of the time. But what would happen, and what happened when people start to use them a lot, you saw this happen about 2010, 11, is that cameras were beginning to be used almost all handheld. And to maintain the focus, particularly if you're using a prime lens, what you would do is you wouldn't change the focus, you would actually change where the camera was. The actor would move towards you and you would move away at the same distance. And this is another thing that we have to learn how to dance with, particularly if it's a Steadicam guy, you got a big camera, then there's like a bungee between you and him or her. It's usually a guy because,
well, it all depends. Yes.
I've yet to meet a female Steadicam operator.
Well, I met one. On
Uncertainty. She wasn't a Steadicam operator.
Yes, but she was.
No, the Steadicam. No, it's brutal. I know the thing, but she did it all with a Scorpion, right?
No, she did it with something that she created herself, which was actually a cushion like a pregnant woman.
There you go.
No. It was very interesting.
She gave birth to the camera.
No. And she put this camera on top of this cushion.
Oh, really?
And she was doing everything like if it was, a woman that was pregnant. It was very interesting.
All right.
It was something she invented.
There you go. You live and learn. Right. Let's keep going because. Right. Anyway, let me just jump ahead to 45 seconds.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to cut to the chase.
Here I can say you
like taking pictures?
In that two shot, the technicians, the lighting person, was not really very.
I think he was having a sandwich at that point.
Yes, and so what you have to do when you see that is this trick that we say is like getting light. I suppose that people were saying to you this, get to the light, favor to the light. Well, exactly.
We see. I'm. If you have an understanding of how they're going to shoot it, what I would do is I go, okay, light's over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in light, and I'm going to go, so you like taking pictures, right? And that's going to force them to cut to my close-up or cut to the other angle. I mean, now we're talking about advanced techniques,
yes.
Which is I'm going to control the editing. So I'm going to start in light.
One has to do when he's acting for the camera.
So I'm going to start in light, and I'm going to go, so you like taking pictures. And I'm going to hit my mark coming around here when I say pictures. So light. You like taking pictures, right? So they'll cut there. Trust me. They're not that clever. Because they're looking for the point in action to cut. Because otherwise what we're doing is we're going from, if you see here right now, you've sat down, right? You've walked over.
Make yourself comfortable.
Right. We got a weird jump cut, which doesn't make sense. But anyway, that doesn't matter.
You don't have to look at him there.
You don't have to look at him at all.
Sorry.
No, all the time me looking, no.
Baby, I
you
need
have
to cut to the chase.
You have really a lot of things to
You
inform
like
us.
taking pictures?
Right. You see, it's a tactical thing. One of the things that we talk about when you're preparing yourself to go onto a set or a casting or whatever it might be, or an audition, is you can't work out exactly everything that's going to happen. But what you can do is at least come up with a plan, right? Come up with a strategy. What are you going to do? What am I going to play here? And as we always like to say, a bad plan is better than no plan at all, right? Everybody's waiting for you to bring the plan in. When they say, have fun with it, right? What they're basically saying is, just stop worrying about getting the job and just, be yourself and original and all the rest of it. That's all they're trying to say, which is, of course, that's the last thing on our minds. Because all we're thinking of is, please just give me this job, and I promise if you let me on set, I'll be fabulous. Okay? So a lot of the time we have to work out what our strategy is. And what our strategy is based on is exactly what we're doing at any given moment, right? What are we trying to achieve? Are we trying to, like before with Charlie, are we trying to intimidate the guy? Am I trying to pretend something, tell him the truth? Am I trying to hide something? Am I trying to intimidate them? Am I confessing? Am I theorizing? Am I theorizing at this moment? There you go. There's me theorizing. Am I looking for something? Am I searching? Whatever it might be, that's going to be your tactic, because that is repeatable. And that's something you could do with a relatively small amount of RAM. Okay, right, let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
This one's nice. Lovely family. What's the matter, baby boy? You look a little on edge.
Right. This tells me that this is the thing that tells me that the director didn't have a clear idea of what he could make out the moments. I'm going to show you why. If I'm the director, and I know it's very easy to say this after the fact, but okay, so you go. Here we go. And you go.
Lovely family.
Lovely family. I want that guy in the tie to look up at you. And as he looks up at you and thinks, what are you trying to tell me? I cut back to you. Right? He's going to motivate the cut for me.
What's the matter, baby boy?
You see, because otherwise the shot is nothing in it.
Nothing.
Hands him a photo, takes
photo.
Photo.
Two people, we cannot see their eyes.
Yeah. Hands him a photo, takes photo.
The moment is not there.
You look a little on edge. Is there a problem?
Al, do me a favor, lock the front door when you come back.
Okay, I like at this point see you as you are. I don't want to see character. I want to see you. So the first time that you show me like this I say, oh, great. One that, he's not playing anything.
You're not playing a character.
I want to see that. I would like to see that on the first one.
Yeah. So in terms of the order, start out with the thing which is closest to you.
Yeah.
And it's the most natural for you. Because that's the person that they're going to want to see walk into the room.
When you feel more free,
We've seen demo reels where it's like vampires in coffins and sort of rape, torture, all sorts of violence, and you're kind of like, yeah, okay. Can we just get to sort of people?
Yes.
And it's very
a conversation. They want to see you as actor,
Yeah.
As an actor.
So anyway, I like that when you're being quite normal.
Is there a problem?
Al, do me a favor, lock the front door when you come back.
What are you afraid of, Ted?
Not you, that's for damn sure.
I really don't think you should be doing this.
You of all people, you want me to walk away now?
It's not.
Right, we got big status problems here.
Yeah.
You're a trainer, you're high status, you should be telling them, you're stupid, don't do it. Right? You're a big dude. The trouble with us dudes, I'm like 6 foot tall. All the other people like us, we're used to reducing our size and not taking up a lot of space, particularly if we've lived in densely populated cities. It's a little different if you're in New York because everybody's, hey, I'm walking here. But particularly in places like London, we tend to sort of compress ourselves and do what we're doing. So don't be afraid to be your size.
Yes.
I have spoken. This is the way.
Yes.
But yeah, play the status.
Is anything in life?
Where am I? What happened? You lost, Benji.
This is, I have to tell you, this is shocking. We go from like, don't do it, in the ambulance funeral. It's like we got the ashes on a post. I'm like, Jesus, that was
quick.
God, life. It's
no. The problem here is also a very bad stage scene with the one that you are in the gymnasium. Why is that? Because you are the one who is all the time chasing him, and we cannot see you. We cannot see you well. So you know what I mean? It's like it's because the camera is not really in the good place. But
right.
Anyway.
Matt says an interesting thing here. He says, "I think you actors are embarrassed to ask the frame of being tedious. The director, his first film, didn't communicate the shot to me. Next time we talk." No, don't be afraid to ask what look. This is how you everybody. 101, big lesson here. This is how, if you don't, you probably know this already, but this is how you ask. Don't ask the director. Fuck him. Don't ask the director. That doesn't matter. Look at the guy who's operating the camera, who might be the director. Look at the guy who's operating the camera and go, right, with a.
Meaning which shot?
What size of frame have I got
frame?
here?
Yeah.
Where's where are we? Right? And he will probably go, it's here or they might even go, okay, if it's right there, you go, okay, we got focus issues right now.
You're gonna know. You're gonna know if it's right there.
Okay. Well, no, the camera might be a long way away.
Yeah.
The camera might be 10 meters away, but you're in a close-up.
They're gonna tell you these cases. Yeah.
They want you to know what the frame is because they want you to stay in it, right? When they say, you said before about find your light, well, now you got an idea of finding your light. When they say find the lens, they want you to look at where the lens is and they want to be able to see you. That's what that is. There's never any shame in asking what the size of the frame is. You can be as professional as you want and you still can't tell.
And not to your director, to your...
the camera operator. Yeah. Yeah. They're the person who's going to keep you in frame. I mean, that's really what it's about.
Oh, Cristina Inez is here. She says, "Hello, I am the girl
she's
by the bike."
She's the girl on the bike. Well, she listens to us when she's riding her bike. No, the other reason is that there's never any shame in understanding what the parameters of where your workspace is. It's the same thing with if you're going to shout, don't surprise the boom operator or the sound department. Go, in this line I'm going to shout, all right? And they go, okay, they've got the script already. They'll mark it's going to shout, and they'll lift up the mic. Otherwise, they've got the sound turned up on their headphones. You'll send them deaf. So always warn people in advance. This is one of the reasons why, if you were ever called to do the slate, when you do it, don't smack it together as hard as you can. Do it nice and gentle. Make sure you've got a nice check, but don't do it as hard as you can because they got their microphones in there and you can hurt their hearing. Trust me, it happened to us once.
I'm thinking two things. Well,
yeah.
I will say it at the end.
Yeah. Anyway, let's keep going.
It's over.
Didn't have to be this way.
Okay. And here it happens the same thing. You see, if the camera is there, let me put myself into the shot. So the camera is there, okay? The camera is there. You see the camera, and here's the other actor, okay? And then you do that. So, you know what I mean? It's like impossible for the camera to read. You have the guy here, all your worries is there. What I'm going to do, what I'm going to think is there because the camera has to see you. The cone of the camera is where you have to actually hide what the worry that you have for this guy, you know? So here is like, and here is all your, if you do that, I cannot see anything.
A lot of the times I've seen actors doing this, I'll go, what are you doing? They're going, I'm just thinking. No. And I go, that's great. I can't see what you're thinking about. I go, how about if you think here? Because you can think up there as well. In fact, that's a really good way to learn your lines. Put them up high. You'll learn them faster. But thinking down here, I can't see anything unless I'm going to go, I don't know. Unless I'm going to give myself a sexy coming out of the lift, out of the elevator moment when it goes, and I do that. All right? Why? Because I'm a wanker, right? But that thing of, we want to see what you're thinking. It's not what you're doing with your face or anything like that. I just want to see what you're thinking. I just want to see how this affects you. And what happens when things affect us? Do we show them? No, we hide them. We try to be stoic. Right?
Yes.
Stoics are good examples for actors.
It's like the hidden cameras. If we would be actors, we would look. The people are like, huh? What's that?
It's like when we take it's like when we take a pair of socks out of the washing basket to see whether we can get away with them for another day. We literally pick them up and we go, no, I can't wear those again. Right? There's no we don't do all that stuff. We literally go, that's a bit rough, but there's no reference to what it might be. Actors do that, and that's what we call inflection. It should be avoided at all costs.
See,
okay?
Let's
and this happens in theatre, that people will walk on stage and go, "Whew, it's so cold." It's like, no shit, really? Is there anything else? Do we need a subtitle?
It's much more interesting when it is cold, right?
Somebody comes and goes, "It's cold." Right? And then we go, oh, is it really cold? Is there subtextually going on there?
Is he angry?
Is he really cold? Is he hiding something? And what we do is the audience is a detective. They want to have a little bit of work. They don't want to be told everything. It's like that thing when you're watching a TV show with your wife and she goes, "Why did they do that?" And you go, "I don't know. I suppose that's what they want you to think. Why did they do that?" Yeah.
You do that sometimes too.
That's only because I've been doing something in the other room. Right? Okay. No, that's true. No, I'll ask them when they do that. Like Thunder Force. We were watching it and I go, "Why did they make this?"
Come on.
It's a purely rhetorical question. It's purely a rhetorical question, right? Okay, so we're coming up here and we're about to have.
We see that.
Yeah.
But that's the right moment. You see.
It's over.
You see
Didn't have to be
give
this
me
way.
things, man.
We couldn't have done anything. Your mother knew it was her time. Her mind was set. I couldn't change it.
Okay, here's an editing thing, because you're sort of jumping around a bit. I'd like to know how the scene worked as a dialogue. I mean, your reel's about 5 minutes long, which is kind of long. It doesn't matter if it's 5 minutes long if everything works like gangbusters. But my question is did it work with less editing to it? Because it's jumping about a bit and it's not being exactly coherent. That's just an observation there. Have a look at that.
Do this anymore. When she sees Ellie, she's happy. The minute anybody tries to tell her the truth, she just shuts them out.
Okay. I can see here. I see an actor that is worried to really the scene and wants to cry and wants to do their best. Wants to do his best.
I'm gonna see.
But I don't see authenticity here.
Right. So what I say to an actor in this particular scene is I go, do everything in your power to keep it together. You don't want to cry.
Exactly.
What you're forcing yourself to do is to not cry. You're trying to keep it together, but it's there. Because an interesting thing is that really profound emotion comes from having a very, very strong thing that you want with an enormous reason why you can't have it. Mm-hmm. Okay? That tension between those two things is what creates that sort of emotion in us. Okay? And it's not the sort of thing you can usually work on beforehand. It's not the sort of thing you can't. That's why emotional memory is nonsense. Because I'm sorry to all the strict Strasbourgians out there, but it doesn't work. And apart from that, you're prostituting things from your own past, which deserve to live and exist where they live and exist, which is in the past. Things that we've processed, understood, gone through. We shouldn't bring them up and reopen those scars again and turn them into wounds once more. No, what we're going to do right now is there's a thing that we have to talk about with incredible importance and power and weight that we can't let it affect us. That's the trick of it. Because what we're interested in is the fight between those two things, what somebody's trying to do, and what we're not interested in when somebody is trying to show us emotion. And it's really tough because I'm sure it was in the script. It was like, he breaks down, he can't take it anymore, or something like that. The thing for me is, basically, I say, he doesn't want to cry. And you can act that. Okay.
That's nicely.
Christina asks, what time are we tomorrow? Tomorrow we're at 6 o'clock in Spain in the afternoon. como siempre. She's asking where am I. Right, so here we go. And...
What am I supposed to do?
No, I'm thinking... I'm gonna bring down some FBI agents. See what they can dig up.
Here is so funny.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. It's like there's Leslie Nielsen going on there. You know, because you got this incredibly serious voice going on there. And it's, who are you and how did you get in? I'm a locksmith. And I'm a locksmith. You know what I mean? It's, and also because the reason I thought of Steve Martin, because it reminded me of Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Well, it's true.
Which is a wonderful film which everybody should see.
Yeah, it's true. Steve Martin also with the
trench coat.
With the trench coat, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where he stays. But I do know where the deal's going down.
Where?
Jimmy, relax. He's right, you know. Come on. We don't have shit to go on. Just let it go.
Let it go. Just like that. Let it go.
We don't have any choice, Jimmy. Come on. This is one time we're gonna have to turn this over to the A-team.
Right. Okay. This is one of those moments. This is close to everything needed to be pumped up a lot more. The aggression, the action, the stopping him, everything needed to go further because it's not close enough to where it's supposed to be.
And what happens is all is in you then.
And then, so what you got is the cliche of the scene, which is leave it alone, Jimmy. They ain't worth it. You know, that whole kind of scene, which is a tough scene anyway because it's sort of a cliche in itself. You got to find something new and original in it. You know, you got to find something to fight with it. You know, throw them up against the dumpster. I don't know what it's going to be, but it's got to be something which has got a lot more, you know, huevos in it.
Yes, also the other actor also.
Yeah, the other actor who seems to be imitating a sort of low-grade Joe Pantaleone. But I don't know what's going on there. But he looks like Joe Pants with a hat on backwards.
I understand 2 languages, and Spanish is not one of them.
Well, that is funny for me.
Are you sure you have nothing? I believe that should have refreshed your memory. Did you really?
Okay.
That doesn't work. Take it out.
Yes.
It doesn't work. Take it out. It's not good. It's not good. It's funny for the wrong reasons. No, it might be. Perhaps it's supposed to be funny, but I'm not getting that. I'm not getting that message there. It doesn't seem deliberately funny because it hasn't gone that extra step. And if it's completely serious, it doesn't help the gun sound because it's not big enough.
Yeah, it's looked like a.
You know, because I think it sounds like the gun sound on the day, which you would have to replace.
Yes. Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
I think that civilian shithole prison in Novokuznetsk would stop me.
Rules?
Da. It looks this time like I holding winning cards. And now you will give me what I want. And what I want is to watch you suffer.
You dead, you son of a bitch.
Okay, that's a shot which is zoomed in. Okay, that's a zoomed in shot. The other thing is you're an absolute dead ringer for the former leader of the Ukraine before he was poisoned. I don't know if anyone's ever told you that, but you look like him. He was a good-looking dude, but they poisoned him and his skin went. He has a terrible skin condition right now, but he looked like our friend Matt here. It's the same thing there. You've got the weight, you've got the presence. You don't need to push it. This is like a great casting for you, right?
Yeah.
Because you walk in the room and people go, oh, fuck, what's that? Right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's great. I hope he's a nice guy. You know what I mean? Hello. You know.
I'm sure you're a very nice guy.
I'm sure you're the nicest guy in the world. All the big dangerous looking people are always sweethearts because they spend their entire lives subconsciously going, don't be afraid. No. I'm okay. I won't bite. You know, it's always been like that. So that's one of those things. I'd like to see it when it's not zoomed out. Okay, you got such a great voice. You don't have to force anything at all. Just the idea that if the scene was you in a restaurant and you said, "Excuse me, this is cold," they'd be like, "Oh my God, fuck, fix this food, fix this food now." They'd be like terrified. You wouldn't have to do anything else. So you got to understand that you've already got that weight and that gravitas going on. You got it in the voice and your presence. It's not something.
It's a new medium, so you have to understand that. You have to understand when it works and when it doesn't work. But in reality, what it works is when you are really feeling comfortable, when you are not pushing. Keep that in mind. Is that is a rule? Don't push, because you don't need to. So let's see. That is the end?
No, not quite.
That's when I said, Albert, maybe the time is come for you to focus on the original ideas of the Führer.
What are you going to do?
I will join with my nationalist and socialist brothers and sisters so that we can work together to finally solve this very serious problem we have in our country with all of these racially inferior people.
Right. Obviously, there you go. Somebody would say a annual meeting of the British Conservative Party. No, anyway. So the curious thing here is it gets completely blown by the mug, right? It's the art design. They should be shot because that looks like a kind of completely contemporary mug.
Yeah.
Now I'm sure they had mugs like that, but you got to give me something that's of a period because I assume that we're doing a. Is this a period piece?
A period piece, yeah.
I assume that this is 1937. I'm not sure.
And this mug,
This mug kind of gives it away, and you're giving it, "I am evil German." Right.
So I think that is comical, you see, because this object that you put there is red, and I see, and it doesn't really fit, and I'm laughing because I think, oh, that is a joke.
Well, it's because the other thing. Look, I've played a lot of Nazis in my time. Occasionally I get paid to, other than for recreational reasons. No, I played a lot of SS officers in my time, and one of the things that's the most terrifying thing you can do is to be completely reasonable in terms of your justification of the things that you're talking about. You can be very, very reasonable about it. That's the thing, the great seductive aspect of it is you're saying terrible things, but you don't think that they're terrible things. And that's the great dangerous thing is that when we're playing the bad guy, we play them like bad guys. It's like, very good, kill him. It becomes very, comical for the wrong reasons.
It says, it's 1991, kidnapped son by Nazis returns after 45 years, Matt Hudson says.
Sounds like my life story.
Well, okay, 1991, this cup, I don't know. I would just put another cup. It's red and it's too much presence.
Right, there you go. That scream for validation. The desperation hasn't worn off completely yet. The director zoomed in post. Oh, fuck. Yeah, everybody says this. When people say, oh, we're shooting in 4K, we're shooting in 8K, the real advantage to shooting in those formats is not because of the resolution of the image. It's the fact that they can zoom in and you can't tell it's zoomed in. Because it allows you to adjust the frame inside the frame, so it allows you to, move things around a little bit. The trouble is when you're dealing with lower resolution footage, that it's so obvious that when it's zoomed in, because you can see the artifacts in the lens and things like that. The other thing that's happened is we've all become experts on the way things, or what things look like. I mean, look at this right now. Look, we're shooting. This is a 50 millimeter lens with a 1.4 stop on the aperture. That's why we got this all out of focus here right now, and that's why it's currently sitting 2 meters away from us. Go figure. Okay? Tell me if you've ever seen a live stream look this pretty. Right, anyway, let's get back to where we were at this mad doctor with the feet. What?
Actors,
Oh, yes, that's right. We are actors, yes.
Okay,
They always make this so difficult.
I'm sure that is comedy. I mean, come on. That is comedy, right?
It's a party political broadcast on behalf of the Green Party.
I think it's a comedy. I mean, the guy...
Yeah, it has to be comedy.
Has to be comedy.
Or at least genre.
The people at the Eden Project do really good things here.
But it's strange.
Look at you.
You know, the light. Where is that light? Ah, now is the light. Now is the light. Until you are not in the light, you don't actually say anything.
Yeah.
And we intend to see that you get what's coming to you.
Now this is the last shot.
Bailey.
People's electric. We've got the power.
Right, I don't know what to think about that. I understand it's kind of a fun thing to put at the end. I would take out the mad doctor with the syringe. I don't know about you. I don't think it's particularly useful.
No, it's not useful.
It doesn't give you a good idea of what you are.
Yeah, and it's also long. So, yeah. I mean, unless it's comedy. If it's comedy, then everything works. You know, why it seems to me that it's comedy. First of all, this kind of two lights here is really comical, you know, and then everything, you know, like this thing of putting the, you know, it's comical.
There's a sort of Udo Kier
thing,
sort of when everything is like that and everything is very, very serious.
Yes.
Otto. I highly recommend that you watch. It's on YouTube somewhere. Look for Udo Kier, Flesh for Frankenstein. There's one of the greatest scenes in film history when Udo Kier, God love him, he actually forgets his line in the middle of this shot. This is the film shot by Paul Morrissey, also known as Andy Warhol's Flesh for Frankenstein. It was shot in 3D. And there's a scene when there's a full-blown naked girl on a slab, dead like this. And Otto, who's his assistant, who was apparently a very, very sad person who was, I believe, bipolar, who killed himself. Oh. But Udo, who is Frankenstein, right? He looks at him and he goes, Otto. And Otto's like this. Very intent. Looks at him like this. He goes, Otto. And Otto's like, you can never know life. And that's when he forgets
the line.
And he makes up, until you have fucked death in the gallbladder. And Otto goes, it's like it's the greatest non sequitur in film history. Otto, you can never know life.
What?
Until you fuck this in the gallbladder. And then Otto he just doubles the intensity. He's like, I got nowhere to go. It's like, yes, of course. Why didn't I think of that? Yes. Gallbladder life. Yeah.
I mean, but it is all a game, you know. It is all a game. But we have to know the rules of the game.
Yeah.
And the rules of the game is the technical stuff here.
Right.
You know, and the technical stuff is, I mean, because you have everything. You have your presence, your voice, as we said, and you know, it's just little adjustments, and you know, and a safe place to actually try everything.
And make a mess of things. All right, let's see what it says. Okay.
Matt says, thank you very much for your stamina.
No, we love doing this.
That,
we love doing this. Learn more today than in the last 3 years. Well,
thank you.
That is really probably the most wonderful thing that you can tell us. Now,
yes.
So look, everybody, people who are still out there, thank you. If you're on YouTube, remember to subscribe to our channel. Give us a like. Check out the other things that we've done. There's not a great many things in English, but there are things in English. There's a playlist all about that. So you can do that if you're out there. So it's youtube.com/Escuela Assumpta Serna. That's there, all the people out there. If you're on Facebook, remember to follow the page. Give us a like, and you'll find out whenever we're going to be live again. Remember, we're also interested to see SelfTapes, which is something that people have started to send us to, because it's, well, that seems to be the way that we're going, the way that we're working. Oops, I didn't mean to push that button. I meant to get rid of that one. So this is really one of the things that we've been doing since we started this over a year ago.
Pablo Afro Samurai.
Smash that motherfucking like button. All right, yeah, we could do that. So smash that like button and remember to subscribe. Remember, no, I'm just hit the like button and hit the bell.
Well, thank you very much for everyone that is there.
Oh, and thank you
all
everybody
these
else.
mad people that is there for 2 hours and 10 minutes.
No. But look. Charlie says thank you so much. I'll avoid eye contact as much as possible. Charlie's going to be like this.
Yes.
What's wrong with that?
No.
They're going to say, "Is Charlie got Parkinson's?" No, he's just trying not to look anybody in the eye.
No,
So
but
Charlie, yeah, what? Charlie, yes. Can you? He'd be like that. No, I'm not looking at you. No, you're not going to trap me that way. I spent 2 hours on the internet watching people talk about me. So
no, but you look great. You look great without this haircut. Well, that's me. But I prefer to see like you are, without any,
But it's interesting. He says that's all I'll see right now. But remember that. Try to avoid the ironic laughter. If you feel it coming on, lean into it more. Lean into the thing that you're going to do. Okay? Try to avoid attitude. Try to avoid being try to avoid being angry, the bad guy. Try to avoid being tough. When in doubt, tell the truth. Right?
And
whatever that means to you, tell the truth. It's the most powerful thing you can do.
Don't avoid the camera. At the contrary, is your ally, is your best ally, and the camera is this witness that is always going to be there, just waiting for you, to read your thoughts.
Really. The camera will love you much longer after all the actors and everybody else is gone. That's for true.
Thank you very much to everybody.
Yeah, thanks for everybody.
2 hours.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
And Crystal,
I'm sorry.
Crystal Williams-Brown, thank you for dropping in, Crystal. Lovely to see you. Thank you for being here. So our job is our job is done. Our idea is that we do these things every Thursday. I put the posts up there on Facebook and all around the place. Remember,
and I have 2 ideas. Can I tell them?
No.
I have two ideas. 2 ideas.
2 ideas. Are you sure? Do you want? Hang on a second. What's that?
Well, I think
5 minutes later.
Okay, what's your idea?
My idea is to do a Zoom in Familia de Cine.
Yeah.
In English for all these people to come. We can plan that.
Yeah, how does that sound, guys? That we do a big Zoom and we all meet up and say hi and have a conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave an email address in the description of this video. There is one there already, I believe, and you can send it to that, but I'm going to put another one in there.
Yeah.
And
easy one for English speaking.
Yes, an easy one. Cuando? Probably next week.
Yeah, it would be nice. It'd be nice. So like that, our people also practice English. You also, can actually have this little gathering inside the Familia de Cine, and
because it's one of the things because the other thing that's happening is there's a lot of people who, particularly here in Spain, but 35% of the people who are in our Patreon and everything like that are from Argentina and South America. The rest of the people are from Spain. There's probably a good 15-20% of people who speak really. Oh, somebody gave us 75 stars. Thank you, Laura Natalia.
Laura.
Thank you. I forgot you could do that on Facebook.
Thank you, Laura, for being there. Thank you for your applauses.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, we like
it's so delightful. Yeah, so one of the things is there's a lot of people in the Spanish-speaking world, actors who are wanting to work on their English, and we have been doing this for such a long time. And one of the great things is that people can actually work with native speakers. And it's really,
so let's
really
do that.
handy.
Let's prepare a Zoom, and so like that we can do a little Familia de Cine in English, no?
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
That's nice. That's nice.
That's awesome. Right. Anyway, it's just been a wonderful session. I've had a lot of fun doing this. I'm always worried because it's very different. We've been doing this a long time in Spanish, and we always have a lot of people in Spanish. And hopefully, what we want to do is to open this up. And this is why we do it so late. So we got the UK, New York, and hypothetically Los Angeles as well. To the English and the Australians. Well, I mean, it's 3 o'clock in the morning. What am I supposed to do?
Indians?
Seriously.
Indians?
The Indians, it's quite late.
Oh.
It's quite late. I think it's about 5 hours ahead of us.
Oh, I see now.
So anyway,
okay.
So the Indians and the Australians are, quite frankly, shit out of luck. Maybe we'll have to do that, and maybe in 3 years' time we'll be doing that. But really, what we want to do is we want to continue to share this sort of open source idea and experience that we have of specifically film acting, as you can see, and spread it out to the world, because there's an awful lot of harlots and there's an awful lot of charlatans out there. A lot of people pretending to know what they're talking about, and what we always like to do is to offer solutions and positive suggestions and pragmatic ways
invite your
to
friends
fix things.
Next Tuesday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next Thursday, sorry.
Next Thursday. And I'll put an email there in the description afterwards, and I'll share it with everybody and invite people as long as they're not complete arseholes.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for everything right now. And as I always like to say at the end of these things, well, onwards and upwards. And welcome to the after show. This is yours. The first thing you always forget.
I was singing.
Right. So
Sorry.
anyway, so we were wondering. This is the other thing we're interested. Thanks for everybody else who's still hanging around here. I don't know why did you have homes to go to? Honestly, whether because it's 7 o'clock UK time, and you were asking whether that might be a little early.
Perhaps.
I don't know. I mean, everybody has their tea at 6.
Really?
I don't know. They have their tea obscenely early.
Okay.
You know what it means to have your tea.
Yeah. To have a dinner. That's what we have to do right now.
Really?
Yes.
I got work to do.
No. No.
Yes.
You're gonna eat.
Yes. Anyway, thanks very much, guys. Thanks you for hanging in there. Remember, anything you want to ask us, whatever it might be, you can drop us a line. You can find all the information on the Facebook page. It's probably the easiest place to see it, which is facebook.com/Assumpta Serna, which you can see. Yeah, look, there it is there. You can follow the page. You can send us messages. We're the easiest people in the world to find. Trust me.
And now?
Oh, and also we have a number there. We have a WhatsApp as well. You can actually send us a message.
Yes.
Yeah. But the other thing is, the other reason that people are asking us about the Patreon is the reason people asked us, because we were doing this every day right at the start of the quarantine, and people said, could they contribute to us? And so we set up this Patreon. But our idea with the Patreon was in the upper levels. It turned into the classes and coaching and career management, and also a lot of it was doing things in
Zoom. And
we'll do a Zoom.
They would be less than these Spanish people.
And that's true. I'll come at your house and wash your car. All right, how about that?
No, but really, I mean, let's organize it.
Yeah, let's organize that. That'd be great. Thanks very much, guys. And remember, you are all collectively and individually more than enough.